with a black face mask on la plain with the fouet or whip is ban mauvais. The suswal sui. The wet okra, the mask played by the Kalinagos, is also ban mauvais. Did you know that in the past, for the purpose of protecting the freedom of the mask, no one should know who is wearing what, not even the very member of the same band, for fear of people being sold out. It was almost a crime to know or see who was under a mask, and worse yet, to try to reveal his or her identity. Did you know that each ban mauvais group has its own music and moves in a specific manner guided by a leader? It must be noted too that masquerade is street theater. It was the Greeks who popularized the theater wearing masks, since they had to make very large movements and had men or women playing each other. That aspect of theater continues today and has found root in Dominica's street theater. One thing that must be made clear, the name ban mauvais or bad band does not signify violence. It is just a metaphor, so at no time should it be taken literally. Our thanks to Norrin Joseph for the info used in this morning's Did You Know? I will focus on the origins of ban mauvais, the Old Mass. I'd like to invite Dominica to celebrate the Old Mass Cultural Festival in Bath Estate tomorrow, God willing. Did you know? Made possible compliments your nation station, national broadcaster DBS Radio. Up next, the DBS Major Morning News.
DBS News. Fresh in the morning. Eye-opening and balanced. The DBS Morning News starts right now.
This morning's headlines: over 1,500 young people have benefited from the Dominica Youth Business Trust. A new contingent of Kenyan police joins the United Nations-backed mission to fight gangs in Haiti. And the U.S. President Donald Trump has sanctioned the International Criminal Court. Well, good morning. I'm Gavin Richards with the DBS Major Morning News. The details right after this.
The range of King juices are 100% natural with no added sugar. King offers a range of refreshing juices which are enriched with vitamin C and no added preservatives. Delight yourself in one of King's nectars or treat your little ones with a Kinita box drink at a refreshingly low price today. Keen, the juice in our lives. Sold at major supermarkets island-wide. Distributed by Fine Foods Inc.
Petro Caribe. Installation is part of our mission. Excellent client support is what we got. Contribution to development of Dominica. Supply of LPG at an affordable rate. Let's go. Petro Caribe straight. No time to waste. So come on everyone with me to Petro Caribe. 250 gallon propane tank. 420 pound propane tank. 100 pound LPG cylinder. Petro Caribe. 20 pound fiberglass cylinder. Petro Caribe. Petro Caribe, Petro Caribe, Petro Caribe, Petro Caribe, Petro Caribe, Petro Caribe.
Since 1910, HHV Whitchurch and Company Limited has proudly served Dominica, offering a wide variety of products and services in shipping, logistics, insurance, travel, retail, and wholesale. We are committed to serve you. Contact us today at 767-255-1100 or visit us at our main office on Old Street, Roseau. From humble beginnings to proud achievements, HHV Whitchurch and Company Limited.
DBS News.
Welcome back. First up in the news this morning, Minister of State in the Ministry of Youth and Community Development, Senator Oscar George, is reporting that over 1,500 young Dominicans have benefited from the Dominica Youth Business Trust, the DYBT. Well, the Dominica Youth Business Trust, established in 2004, observed its 20th year of operation with an award ceremony this week.
Since the existence, it has provided opportunities for young persons for the provision of financial support to hundreds of small businesses, the provision of mentorship to many entrepreneurs, and also have given much needed exposure to many small and upcoming businesses which allow them to take off. The trust has provided guarantees to young persons who have no security and want to apply for business funding from partnering financial institutions. And importantly, the program also involves a training component prior to acquisition of the loans, which equips the young entrepreneurs with the basics of operations, management, and the preparation of business plans. In summary, the Trust has been developing well-rounded and competent business owners in Dominica. And these investments have greatly facilitated the emergence of a thriving and sustainable private sector here in Dominica. A matter of fact, I was advised that over the last 20 years, it is estimated that over 1,500 young persons have benefited from the DYBT program. And as I speak, a variety of sectors has been touched by this program. ICT, agro-processing, garment making, retail, catering, taxi operations, tourism, and the list can go on and on. So the impact of the DYBT has been tremendous, and I can say with no fear of contradiction that the objective of the Trust are being met in a very progressive manner.
And that was Minister of State in the Ministry of Youth and Community Development, Senator Oscar George. And some more news this morning. Lawyers for former Prime Minister Edison James, UWP leader Dr. Thompson Fontaine, and Lennox Linton have objected to the incitement charges which were read to them in court on Thursday. Well, James, Fontaine, and Linton were charged with incitement in 2017 after a meeting with the UWP or of the UWP in Roseau. After the meeting, several businesses in Roseau were damaged. The three made an appearance in court, but the matter was adjourned to later this month. Ronaldo Luke reports.
During the hearing, Director of Public Prosecution Shima Durampel informed the court that she had filed a fiat appointing Senior Counsel Israel Khan, Daniel Khan, and Nathaniel Lutchman, all from Trinidad and Tobago, as prosecutors in the matter. Defense attorney Jeffrey Later, assisted by Gabriel St-Hilaire, represents Dr. Fontaine. Later objected to the arraignment and reading of the indictment, citing serious concerns. He requested that the defense be allowed to submit its objection in writing and further called for the matter to proceed to case management. Attorneys Gildan Richards, representing Linton, and David Bruni, representing James, raised similar objection. Richards argued that the case bundle contained significant contamination, making case management necessary. Additionally, he objected to the joint trial of the three accused, pointing out that only 8 of the 75 witnesses mentioned Linton. Bruni echoed similar concerns, noting that out of the 75 witnesses, only 11 referenced his client. He contended that a joint trial would be prejudicial to his client. In response, Senior Counsel Khan stated he did not understand the basis of the objections regarding the indictment, but raised no opposition to the defense submitting its argument in writing. However, Justice William expressed serious concerns, noting that the indictment failed to disclose an underlying offense allegedly committed by the three accused. Justice William further stated, based on common law, incitement is not a standalone offense. It must be tied to an act that constitutes a crime. In response, Senior Counsel Khan argued that the accused men incited riot in Dominica contrary to common law. He insisted that the offense was clear as day and asserted it would be highly irresponsible for a judge to dismiss the matter. However, the judge maintained that as a minister of justice and fairness, the court must adopt a measured approach, particularly in cases where delays occur or where the alleged offense is not clearly established. He further stressed that the state must never appear to be at war with its citizens. Consequently, he granted the defense until February 17 to file its submission, while the prosecution has until February 23rd to respond. The matter is scheduled to return to court on February 27, 2025. Ronaldo Luke reporting for DBS News.
Meantime, leader of the United Workers' Party, Dr. Thompson Fontaine, says he's optimistic that the incitement charge will not prevail in court.
There's absolutely no merit in this case, as it was demonstrated. The prosecution had a difficulty in telling the judge exactly what we have been charged with. The prosecution is saying that we are charged with incitement, but incitement to do what? Incitement cannot be a charge. And so a lot of time was spent trying to describe that. At the end of the day, we were not arraigned as the prosecution would have wanted. In other words, the charges were not read to us. What the judge allowed for is for our defense to put forward their obstruction to these charges being read, and there will be a written submission done within 2 weeks, and we'll be back in court on the 27th to hear the judge's decision as to whether or not this case should be quashed. It really is not fair that for outstanding citizens like myself, Mr. James, Mr. Linton, anybody looking at that on his face should realize that those charges are bogus, they're trumped up, all to tie us up. And it's been 7 years. Another issue that came out in the court very clearly. How can you be bringing somebody before a court 8 years for a potential crime that has a statute of 7 years? So it is clear that there is nothing in this indictment that we should be scared of. We want to thank our lawyers. My lawyer is Geoffrey Layton. I want to thank him for standing up strong for us. But we believe at the end of the day we will prevail. We have done nothing wrong, and the courts will eventually prove to the people of Dominica that we are not criminals.
And that was leader of the United Workers' Party, Dr. Thompson Fontaine. The eradication of pit latrines in Atkinson and new housing are among plans announced this week when Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerritt met with councillors. Mr. Skerritt says the meeting with the Atkinson Village Council was productive.
The council was able to highlight their priority areas, most of which are aligned with what the government view as the priority areas for Atkinson, housing being the top of the list. We've agreed on the construction of some homes for some residents here. As you know, we had acquired some land, some property some time ago, but there appear to be some issues in that, so we have to do some further investigations. But we are prepared to build on individual lands. Part of the challenge we've had in the past also is that some of the potential beneficiaries had issue of tenureship, land ownership, so we'll have to try to help them to address that issue. Of course, we are going to completely eradicate the presence of pit latrines in Atkinson. There's a list of 13, and I've approved that list. We will finalize the quantities for each of those areas because obviously we have to look at the location of the homes, and so the cost may vary on that, and we will send the money to the council so that the council can implement the eradication of the pit latrines in Atkinson. And of course we're going to be helping them with the upgrade of the playing field and also the improvement of access in several areas in Atkinson that they have pointed out to us, road improvements, and so we will also be doing that. And we'll be sending small business unit to have a meeting here with the existing small business operators to see how we can further support the efforts towards sustainable income generation.
And that was Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerritt. Muta Matthew is chairperson of the Atkinson Village Council.
Well, I'm very optimistic. I'm happy that we got the opportunity to speak with the Prime Minister, and he has given us his assurance that he's going to assist us in various areas of development, rehousing, roads and stuff like that. So I'm happy about what took place at the meeting, and I'm very hopeful that things are going to happen in Atkinson. People are going to be happy that we have had a hearing with the Prime Minister, and then he is he's willing to do these things that we ask of him. So let's hope that things are going to be fruitful from now on, and we are going to have a better relationship in the future.
And that was chairperson of the Atkinson Village Council, Muta Matthew. The Police Welfare Association will discuss salary negotiations with government when it convenes later today for the annual general meeting. The police have said they're hoping that government will meet their demands for salary increase. The meeting at police headquarters at 2:30 will also discuss other matters of importance for police officers. The executive of the Police Welfare Association is encouraging all members to attend. Well, let's head into news from the region this morning as the 4th contingent of Kenyan police arrived yesterday in Haiti to help repel violent gangs as officials brushed off concerns over a halt in some U.S. funding to the United Nations-backed mission. The 200 police officers from the East African country joined more than 600 other Kenyans already working alongside Haiti's national police as part of a multinational force boosted by soldiers and police deployed by countries including Jamaica, Guatemala and El Salvador. The latest deployment of Kenyan police comes 2 days after the United States notified the United Nations that it was freezing the $13.3 million slated for the mission as part of a sweeping freeze on foreign assistance imposed by the U.S. President Donald Trump. And speaking of the U.S. President Donald Trump, well, he has signed an executive order sanctioning the International Criminal Court, accusing it of illegitimate and baseless actions targeting America and Israel. The measure places financial and visa restrictions on individuals and their families who assist in the International Criminal Court's investigations of American citizens or its allies. Trump signed the measure as Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu was visiting Washington. Well, last November, the ICC issued an arrest warrant for Netanyahu over alleged war crimes in Gaza, which Israel denies. The ICC also issued a warrant for a Hamas commander. The International Criminal Court is a global court with the power to bring prosecutions for genocide, crimes against humanity, and war crimes. Well, that's the news. Let's recap the headlines. Over 1,500 young people have benefited from the Dominica Youth Business Trust. A new contingent of Kenyan police joins the United Nations-backed mission to fight gangs in Haiti. And the U.S. President Donald Trump has sanctioned the International Criminal Court. Well, that's the news. Stay tuned for sports.
Transform your meals with the superb quality that is found in Robert's products. Become a master baker with Balbocry shortening. Add a touch of love to your food with Sunflower Soft Luxury Spread. Perfect your bread with Glow Spread Margarine. Add mellow cream, that tastemaker flavor to all your gravies, soups, and stews. Robert's, for the love of cooking. Distributed by Fine Foods, the biggest distributor of the biggest brands found in Dominica.
Petro Caribe. Tank installation is part of our mission. Excellent client support is what we got. Contribution to development of Dominica. Supply of LPG at an affordable rate. Let's go. Petro Caribe straight. No time to waste. So come on everyone with me to Petro Caribe. 250 gallon propane tank, 420 pound propane tank, 100 pound LPG cylinder, Petro Caribe, 20 pound fiberglass cylinder, Petro Caribe, Petro Caribe, Petro Caribe, Petro Caribe, Petro Caribe, Petro Caribe, Petro Caribe.
Since 1910, HHV Whitchurch and Company Limited has proudly served Dominica, offering a wide variety of products and services in shipping, logistics, insurance, travel, retail, and wholesale. We are committed to serve you. Contact us today at 767-255-1100 or visit us at our main office on Old Street, Roseau. From humble beginnings to proud achievements, HHV Whitchurch and Company Limited.
Covering the nation and beyond, DBS Sports Report.
Rudolph Thomas Enterprise in Portsmouth, your suppliers of building materials and hardware products. Over 20 years experience in the business. Rudolph Thomas has lumber and plywood, Portland and tile cement, steel rods, galvanized and fence pipe. And Rudolph Thomas can meet all your wire needs. Galvanized roofing sheets, doors, windows, toilet sets, face basins and bidets. PVC piping, fittings and lattice. Check out Rudolph Thomas for ceramic and vinyl floor and wall tiles, nails, nuts and bolts, paint and painting supplies. And check out their line of electrical and hand tools. And Rudolph Thomas Thomas is your one-stop shop for hard-to-find items like fiberglass mat and fiberglass resin and welding rods. Go now to Rudolph Thomas on 1240 Bay Street in Portsmouth.
Just Mobank me. Here's my ID.
Just Mobank me. It's that easy.
The faster, easier way to bank. NBD makes it easy to bank online, anywhere, at any time with Mobanking. The faster, easier way to bank. The faster, easier way.
So transfer funds on Mobanking.
The faster, easier way. To pay your bills with Mobanking. The faster, easier way.
So order checks on Mobanking.
The faster, easier Pay employees on Mobanking. The faster, easier way to bank. Log on or sign up for Mobanking to bank online anywhere at any time. Visit nbdominica.com for more details and follow us on Facebook and YouTube.
So how should I pay you?
Just Mobank me. Here's my ID. The faster, easier way to bank. NBD. Your partner, your bank.
Welcome to the morning sports. Let's bowl off with cricket news. A century from Cephas Cooper and Jason Mohammed has put Trinidad in the driver's seat in their CWI Regional 4-day matchup with the Windward Islands Volcanoes in St. Vincent. Well, Trinidad has a commanding lead heading into day 3. It really wasn't a good day for the Windward Islands yesterday. Trinidad ended day 2 last night on 429 for 7. Cooper got 117. Jason Mohammed 103. Ami Django, he got 84, and Yannick Carrera was still not out on 84 as well. Kavem Hodge had figures of 1 for 23, Sadrak Descartes 2 for 72, Darius Martin 1 for 84, and Gillan Tyson 1 for 72. So the scores so far in that game: the Windward Islands 166 all out, Trinidad 429 for 7. Trinidad, they're leading by 263 runs. Meantime, the West Indies Test captain Craig Brathwaite got a double century as Barbados piled on over 500 runs against the West Indies Players Academy. Barbados declared on 581 for 9, with Craig Brathwaite getting 212, Jonathan Drakes he got 117, and Lenico Boucher 65, while the West Indies Academy in their turn at the crease, they reached 111 for 3 at stumps. They're still trailing by 470 runs. In other matches, Jamal Hamilton got a half century to leave the match between the Leeward Islands Hurricanes and the Jamaican Scorpions. Interestingly poised, the Leeward Islands Hurricanes at stumps yesterday were 301 for 7, replying to Jamaica's first innings total of 320. Hamilton got 77 and Karima Gore 76. The scores in that game is Jamaica 320 and the Leeward Islands Hurricanes 301 for 7. The Leewards are trailing by 19 runs. Meantime, the combined campuses and colleges team, well, they're in a very strong position in their match against the defending champions Guyana Harpy Eagles. The CCC were bowled out for 375, with Kyle Corbin getting 102, Johan Jeremiah 84 and Shakir Paris 56. We had Shama Joseph, the West Indies fast bowler, getting 3 for 115. Guyana at stumps struggling with the bat, and they were 166 for 6. Tevin Imlak was not out on 58. So the scores in that game, the combined campuses and colleges are 375. Guyana 166 for 6. Guyana, they're trailing by 209 runs. Just a programming note there. There will be a special edition of Talking Point this morning, and joining us will be the acting president of the Windward Islands Cricket Board, Clement Marcler. Of course, Dominica is set to host a major women's cricket match or major women's cricket tournament this weekend. Starting this weekend, the Windward Islands Women's Cricket Tournament will be held in Dominica starting from this weekend. And there's also the upcoming regional 4-day match between the Volcanoes and the combined campuses and colleges next week. The President, Clement Marcler, will be on Talking Point to talk about these matters and other matters of cricketing interest. Well, let's move on with the morning sports as the DFA President, Glenn Etienne, is hoping that the national under-17 men's football team can give a strong representation at the CONCACAF under-17 World Cup qualifiers. Dominica has been grouped with Mexico, Nicaragua, Barbados and Belize. The competition gets underway this afternoon in Mexico, with Dominica playing Belize at 5 o'clock.
The boys left state day before, and they arrived in Mexico safely. Like you said, it's just a matter of wishing them well because they start their stint tomorrow. The first game will be tomorrow. We just want to wish them all the best. I mean, I think they have a fairly young team, and I think some of the players had played in the under-17 before. So they have the capabilities of some of the players that they can at least do something satisfactory for us that we can be happy about.
Coming up against the likes of, Barbados, Belize, Nicaragua, Mexico, big opponents, Mr. Etienne. We heard the coach raise some concern that he felt there wasn't enough sufficient time for preparations. Bearing that in mind, how will you guys be addressing that for the future?
Well, yeah, big opponents, but football have been played in Dominica year-round. I mean, most of the players are engaged in one way or the other at the Premier League or the under 15 leagues. So they are engaged in football year-round. So I don't think that is so much of a deterrent. Yes, I mean, strong opponent, which is always something to be concerned about. But the game has been played on the field, and then we just have to wish the guys all the best and to match the Mexicans or the Belgians, whoever they come up with.
Obviously, qualifying for that will be a major challenge. So how would you describe success on this tour for Dominica?
Well, right, you say qualifying for that is a major challenge, and is something that FIFA has just introduced this year for the first time in terms of World Cup qualifying every year. I also believe it's going to be a challenge for not just Dominica, even for the other CONCACAF teams in the region, because you're looking at even next year, you could have an under-17 World Cup required. So this is something that the different AMAs has to plan and strategize in terms of are they going to compete every year, because it's going to take your financial cost, and I think it's something CONCACAF need to also consider also.
And that's DFA President Glenn Etienne. Cricket West Indies Director of Cricket Miles Bascom says 2025 is shaping up for another exciting year for women's cricket. He says one of the main highlights for the year will be the Women's World Cup qualifiers and Women's World Cup. Bascom says that the women will also be engaged in a number of tours.
Our women's program demonstrates equal ambition and depth. After the successful ODI and T20I home series against Bangladesh last month, the Women's Super 50 will be held in St. Kitts from February 24th to March 8th, and provides a significant tune-up for the crucial Women's ODI World Cup qualifiers from April 4th to 18th, ahead of the ODI World Cup in India later this year. The Women's T20 blaze lights up St. Vincent's and its Vale shortly after, from April 25th to May 11th, before our senior women also journey to the United Kingdom for 3 ODIs and 3 T20 internationals from May 12th to June 8th. What truly excites us is our comprehensive development pathway. We host South Africa A for 2 4-day first class and 3 one-day matches from May 17th to June 10th. And this series comes on the heels of the men's emerging T20 tournament, which will provide vital competitive experience in the shorter format.
And that's Cricket West Indies Director of Cricket Miles Bascom. The former Chief Executive Officer for Cricket West Indies, Johnny Grave, says he was not in agreement with Cricket West Indies' decision to name Darren Sammy head coach of all formats of the West Indies team. Well, Sammy, who captained the West Indies to victory in 2012 and 2016 T20 World Cups, has been in charge of the white ball sides since May of 2023. From April 2025, he will take over the Test team duties, replacing Jamaica's Andre Coley.
I'm a big fan of Darren Sammy's. I was also at the helm and driving the change to split the coaches, so I still feel that split coaches with the modern game gives you the best possible chance of success, because the schedule is so intense. And, you know, we all know that proper planning and proper preparation leads to better results. And I was surprised that Darren was given all 3, as I was when Brendan McCullum was for England, because I thought that, you know, splitting the coaches was the right decision, and aligning the red ball, particularly with the A-team having more focus on red ball cricket, having a head of Test cricket or head of red ball cricket really involved in the Test and A-team was the way forward.
And that's the former Chief Executive Officer of the Cricket West Indies, Johnny Grave. Some more sports this morning. Well, easy wins for the Portsmouth Secondary School as the sports division secondary schools under 20 netball tournament continued yesterday. While the Portsmouth Secondary School, they got past the Dominica Grammar School, winning that match at 27-14. Top scoring for the Portsmouth Secondary School, Shanita Casey made 14 out of her 22 attempts. Lamaya Ford had 5 from 9 and Jewel Benjamin 8 from 14. While for the Dominica Grammar School, Rochelle Marshall made 11 from 22 attempts. Well, the netball action will continue today. The Northeast Comprehensive School will battle the Portsmouth Secondary School, and that's an under 20 match set for this afternoon. That's an apology. There is a Northeast Comprehensive up against the Pierchild Secondary School in the under 20 division. Well, let's move on to some volleyball news. As the Pierchild Secondary School, they suffered a defeat against the Dominica State College in the women's division. They went down in straight sets, losing that match at 25-11 and 25-6. At the Dominica State College, they also secured a straight sets win over the men's team from the Pierchild Secondary School. They won that game at 25-11, 25-18 and 26-24. Today there's only one match in the secondary school's volleyball competition, and that game is at the Convent High School grounds. Convent High School A team will take on the Convent High School B team. And finally in sports this morning, well, the West Indies spinners Jomel Warrican and Karishma Ramarak have been nominated for the ICC Players of the Month award for the month of January. Warrican is being nominated for the very first time. Warrican celebrated a triumphant return to Test cricket in January, getting 19 wickets across both Test matches in Pakistan. He took 10 wickets in the first Test, including a career best of 7 for 32 in the second innings. And then Warrican was also crucial in the second Test, getting runs and also taking 9 wickets to lead the West Indies to a historic 120-run win over Pakistan. The other nominees for the ICC Player of the Month for the men are Pakistan's Noman Ali and India's Varun Chakravarthi. And in the meantime, the women's West Indies spinner, Karishma Ramarak, she had impressive performances for the West Indies against Bangladesh. She recorded her first 4-wicket haul in the format, and she also had a career best of 4 for 12 to seal a comfortable 8-wicket win. And she picked up the Player of the Series award for that series against Bangladesh. Well, that's where we'll come to the end of the DBS Morning Sports Report. Remember, at 9:30, we will have a special talking point with the acting president of the Windward Islands Cricket Board, Clement Master. 9:30 talking point this morning. But until then, Gavin Richards saying good morning.
Just Mobank me. Here's my ID.
Just Mobank me. It's that easy.
The faster, easier way to bank.
NBD makes it easy to bank online, anywhere, at any time with Mobanking. The faster, easier way to bank.
The faster, easier way.
So transfer funds on Mobanking.
The faster, easier way.
To pay your bills with Mobanking.
The faster, easier way.
So order checks on Mobanking.
The faster, easier
Pay employees
way.
on Mobanking.
The faster, easier way to bank.
Log on or sign up for Mobanking to bank online, anywhere, at any time. Visit nbdominica.com for more details and follow us on Facebook and YouTube.
So how should I pay you?
Just Mobank me. Here's my ID.
The faster, easier way to bank.
NBD.
Your partner, your bank.
Rudolph Thomas Enterprise in Portsmouth, your suppliers of building materials and hardware products. Over 20 years experience in the business. Rudolph Thomas has lumber and plywood, Portland and tile cement, steel rods, galvanized and fence pipe. And Rudolph Thomas can meet all your wire needs. Galvanized roofing sheets, doors, windows, toilet sets, face basins and bidets. PVC piping, fittings and lattice. Check out Rudolph Thomas for ceramic and vinyl floor and wall tiles, nails, nuts and bolts, paint and painting supplies. And check out their line of electrical and hand tools. And Rudolph Thomas is your one-stop shop for hard-to-find items like fiberglass mat and fiberglass resin and welding rods. Go now to Rudolph Thomas on 1240 Bay Street in Portsmouth.
DBS News. Accurate, up-to-date, professional. We bring you the news of the nation via 3 newscasts, Monday to Saturday at 7 a.m. The DBS Major Morning News, 1:15 p.m. your lunchtime news bulletin, and at 6 in the evening, the DBS Evening News. Call us at 448-4302. Listen on www.dbcradio.net. Don't forget to like our Facebook page at